Greetings, Secret in the Dirt and Buggy's Gone Wild Forum guys. Just wanted to wish you all Merry Christmas and show you a little close-up video of how the frame restoration is coming along. Getting ready at this point to make a new wiring harness. The one I have here has seen better days. I may take some pieces and parts off of this and reuse them, some of the heavier cables there, possibly. We'll see if they work out for length. But what I ended up doing was getting a couple of relays here that are going to be used to take the power away from the ignition switch. So rather than running the battery power right through the switch, which is a little bit hard on it, we're going to take it through a Yamaha G1 switch. And I've got these wires worked out. This is a forward reverse switch, so you turn it one way and it connects a couple of wires. You turn it off and nothing's connected. You turn it to reverse and it connects two different circuits, not just one, which is going to be kind of nice because I can use that second circuit to power the reverse buzzer. And that's what we're going to do. But as you can see, these wires are all small gauge, so they can't carry any serious power. So what we do is just run 12 volts through here at low amperage back to the relays, and then the relays carry the heavier power load that is going to be required by the starter generator motor. You can see the size of the cables on this, and you know, that's obviously a lot of amperage for the ignition switch itself to carry through. So we're not going to let it do that. So I've got the original wiring harness laying here, and this is going to have to be redone. I'm going to draw up my own wiring diagram circuit, which isn't a big deal because there isn't a whole lot here, a voltage regulator. But I've got plenty of wiring diagrams here that I've printed off, and some that I've done from Yamaha, some from Harley Davidson, some that other people have done that have done this forward reverse switch modification, and I'm going to add my own twists to it and put it all together myself. But like I say, it's a small job. There's not a whole lot going on to it. But I got a couple new motor mounts. The ones on the driver's side of the cart are not in very good shape on this cart either. The passenger side ones are pretty good. So I got 3 new ones. Here they are sitting here. I'll be putting those in. There's a couple of wheel bearings for the front end, some pop rivets that end up holding on some of the front fiberglass. The floors are painted, front forks are painted. The steering, it's got this kind of a unique steering system here, but it works beautiful. And one of the other things that I'm going to do is convert this little guy over to the use of high energy ignition. So here's a little bitty circuit here that is kind of cobbed together on a little bitty breadboard section. The LED that's on the top of this little green LED tells me when the points are open, which will be helpful for setting timing. And then we run the signal from the points through this GM high energy ignition module that's very cheap. You get it for like 22 bucks. And the advantage of using that then is you're not sending a high amperage draw through the points, so they don't arc. They pretty much aren't going to need changed until the cam wears out on the points. So that should be real nice. We've got a little Stuart Warner period looking voltmeter that's going to replace, well, actually the 71 cart has a fuel gauge, and we're going to put a voltmeter in about the same place probably to use to monitor our battery so we can see if it's charging or not. But most everything is painted and ready to go back together. Everything's been looked at. There's not a whole lot to it. The brake, the accelerator pedal. I was able to use my old throttle cable, but the brake cable that I had seen better days and was pretty seized up. So we went ahead and purchased a new one, although it had to be modified. It didn't quite fit the way it should. And we've got our scorecard holder kind of restored and painted. Got some new seals to put around the front wings here. Let's replace this original stuff here. Pair of seats. Those are just cheap boat seats, but I measured them out, and as you can see, the ones I picked up are going to be a pretty good size for the replacement here. And to make them more original, I'll take these mounting hinges that they have these folding hinges on them, which is kind of cool. I mean, you could just leave them like that. But to make it look more original, I'm just going to use some of this original bracketry that mounted the seats originally, because I believe that they add some stiffening to the body. Now I am going to trim these back probably a little bit, maybe use some aluminum in place of the steel just to lighten up the lift on the body when you lift it back and hinge it back, because it's a bit of a heavy lift. But that's the plan for that. And then we're heading towards a carburetor rebuild. Got it on the bench and all cleaned up here with the carb kit. And this is just a simple old Mikuni. So that shouldn't be a big deal. Rebuild that. And then we've got our paint purchased for it. Way too much, but that's the way I tend to do it. Merlot. It's just a Summit acrylic urethane. It's cheap and it's easy to work with, and I've sprayed single stage paints like that before, so I have a pretty good idea how it lays on, and should be able to get a nice look out of it, and it'll be durable and last a long time. Got our engine cleaned up and painted, ready to go back on. The engine fan, got all the corrosion from the mouse out of there, and our muffler. So like I say, it's pretty simple. There isn't a whole lot here. Just, you know, even a project like this takes a lot of time. Just cleaning up the frame, getting all the old crud off of it, and sanding it and painting it in 3 coats. You know, takes time. The floorboards had to be patched and welded, sections welded in. But now this paint is POR 15, which is hard as a rock once you get it on there. It's almost like a freaking ceramic. I mean, it's really hard. You can't hardly chip it off with a hammer and chisel. So it'll be real good for this, and that's where we sit. So again, happy holidays. I hope everyone has a nice Christmas, and we will see you guys in 2015.